the Spirit Community Award winner. This is NBC 10 News at 5.
Right now, our nation's leaders remember late lawmaker Elijah Cummings. We'll have the highlights from today's service in D.C.
And classic literature of old causing some new problems in an Arkansas middle school. We'll have more on the poetic controversy.
Plus, there's no shortage of prisoners, but officers needed to stand guard, and they're few and far between. We'll explore the reason behind the shortage.
Thanks for joining us on this soggy Friday. I'm Jared Floyd.
And I'm Chelsea Jones. Michelle is off tonight. Our top story at 5. A West Monroe woman is behind bars after police say she stabbed a man with a screwdriver, then stole his car. 35-year-old Danielle Wheat is facing an attempted second-degree murder charge. Ouachita Parish Sheriff's deputies tell us the victim had awoken in the middle of the night to Wheat in his home going through his stuff. Once he confronted Wheat, she grabbed a screwdriver and stabbed him multiple times. Police say Wheat then took off with the man's car. Wheat is also booked on 1 count of theft of a motor vehicle. Her bond is set at $27,500.
To other news now, funeral services have been set for the Neville teen who was hit and killed earlier this week. Visitation for Ashley Dorsey will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Assembly in West Monroe. The funeral will begin at 1 p.m. at the church. Interment will follow at Mulhern Memorial Park. Ashley was 15 years old. She would have turned 16 November 11th. Meantime, friends of Ashley Dorsey have set up a GoFundMe page to help her family cover medical and funeral expenses. You can find a link to that GoFundMe page on our website at myarklamis.com.
Some of the nation's leaders, both past and present, gathered to honor the late Representative Elijah Cummings. A funeral service for Cummings was held at the New Psalmist Baptist Church in Baltimore Friday. Several well-known names in Washington attended the service. Former Presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton shared memories of the longtime Maryland Democrat. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also spoke fondly of Cummings. The 68-year-old passed away last week after battling a long illness. Cummings was a key figure in Congress and one of the chairmen leading investigations into President Trump. Yesterday, his body laid in state in National Statuary Hall in the U.S. Capitol. He is believed to be the first African-American lawmaker to lie in state in the U.S. Capitol. Well, some parents of Crossett Middle School students are outraged after they say a teacher gave them poems that included profanity and sexual content. The poem called To This Day was given to an 8th grade class as an English homework assignment. The poem includes the F word and S word on the last 2 pages of the poem. Parents said they expressed their concern to the school, and the teacher issued an apology. In the statement, the teacher said she regrettably printed out the unedited version of the poem. The teacher then gave students the option to read Maya Angelou's Still I Rise or Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven to read, and parents said 2 lines in Angelou's poem included sexual content. They told NBC 10 that neither poems are appropriate for 13-year-olds.
If my kids are going to be corrupted, and if my kids are going to be exposed to these kind of things, I don't feel like it should be in the public school system. That's supposed to be our safe place.
NBC 10's Gabrielle Pfeiffer caught up with the superintendent. Hear how they're handling that incident coming up at 6.
To Lincoln Parish now, where the sheriff's office is looking for men and women who are interested in becoming correctional officers.
Isabel Albritton spoke to a recruiter about the requirements to become a member of the department. Isabel, what do applicants need?
That's right, guys. Just like many other positions, some sort of turnover is expected over time, but right now Lincoln Parish is experiencing a shortage of correctional officers, specifically guards. That's why officials are doing some heavy recruiting. Of course, there are requirements that need to be met, including a background check, a high school education, or a GED, and all applicants must be at least 21 years old.
The very first part of our hiring process after they fill out the application is we have to take a written test, and if they pass that, then they have to pass the backgrounds, and if they pass that, then they have to take a psychological and then a physical.
We'll have more information on what is expected of potential hires on a day-to-day basis coming up tonight at 6. For now, live in the studio, Isabel Albritton, NBC 10, your local news leader.
Isabel, thanks. The Drug Enforcement Administration is having their 17th National Prescription Drug Take Back this weekend. Since 2010, the DEA has collected over 12 million tons of unwanted, unused, and unneeded medicine. This year, parents or students can also dispose of any vape products. The prescription drug initiative started as locals were flushing drugs down the drain or just throwing them in the trash, polluting the environment. This gave locals a place to get rid of the drugs properly. However, the primary focus now is to put a stop to opioid abuse. Officials say 4 out of 5 new heroin users admitted to starting with opioids or prescription medications.
The opioid epidemic has kind of taken over. So now we do that. Our primary focus is to get unused opioids out of the system. Due to the fact that just in 2017, over 70,000 people overdosed on opioids and opioid-related drugs.
There will be 5 West Monroe take-back locations at Brookshire's and Super One. To see the full list, go to myarclemis.com.
Well, we have some great news for Friday. Someone will be winning $150 gas cards.
Yeah, they have a chance to at least, but they have to call in. No one's called in for the last 3 nights, so our gas card has grown every weeknight on NBC 10 News at 10. You have the chance to win free gas brought to you by the Jim Taylor dealerships. If your name is called, you have by the end of the newscast to claim that prize. If the winner doesn't call, the prize rolls over and continues to grow until the winner calls. Register at one of the Jim Taylor dealerships or go to myarclemis.com and click on the contest tab.
Well, next in sports, plenty of high school football games this evening.
Yeah, 14 moved up last night, but plenty more going on tonight, including a big one between Faraday and Mangum. Chris Demersion has a live report in 2 minutes.
And it's a question every parent has asked themselves: when is it okay to leave your child at home? A new study aims to answer the question.
And Tropical Storm Olga continues to obviously bring widespread rain to the area. You can see the soggy conditions that we've endured today. Over an inch of rainfall in most spots with more to come. A full look at the forecast as NBC 10 News at 5 continues.
On set of the Country Queen's new dance track. Then only E.T. is at the real-life Barbie Malibu Dream House. We've got your first look inside. Next, E.T.
There's only one place on Friday nights to get your high school football highlights and action, and that's Football Friday Night.
Tonight at 10:15 on NBC 10. Sponsored by Banner Ford, Randall's Fine Meats, and American Direct Auto in Winsboro.
800,000 reasons to call Morris Park.
475,000 reasons.
550,000 reasons.
1.2 million reasons to call Morris Park.
In the last 30 years, we have gotten our clients over $1 billion. That's a great number. And here's another one, 807-1000. Over 30 years of winning, over $1 billion won, over $1 billion reasons for you to call. If you get hurt in a car wreck, everybody knows what to do. You make one call, that's all.
Lawyers in the Senate killed legislation. Lawyers in the Senate killed legislation.
Excuse me? But Jay Morris serves in the House, not the Senate. The House passed the bill, and Jay Morris voted for it. The Senate defeated the bill. Jim Bannon's a senator. Just facts. Jim Bannon has been in politics for 33 years, a career politician. Jay Morris employs 150 of our citizens in his businesses. A solid businessman. That's the real choice. Jay Morris, Senate.
Call Creed & Creek today. We're your local injury attorneys.
NBC 10 News at 5 continues.
There's going to be some big and some muddy matchups tonight as high school football teams prepare to go head-to-head on the gridiron.
And NBC 10's Chris Demersion joins us live from one of the biggest games tonight. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chelsea, one of those muddy and rainy matchups is taking place right here at Mangum High School with the battle in Faraday. 2 2A powers going at it this evening. Got my main man, Coach Stanley Smith with me. Coach, let's talk about you guys for a second. You guys are 6-1, a quiet 6-1. Not a lot of guys are mentioning Faraday around the state. How dangerous are you guys in 2019?
We're having a good year right now. We're coming out hard, competing every game, just building on the momentum we had for the last 2 years, 2 semifinal appearances. So we're just taking them one game at a time and just hoping that we can come out with a victory at the end of the night by doing our jobs and working hard.
You know, we talked about during the summer when we did those high school football previews, the culture you're really building at Faraday. I mean, 3 straight semifinals trips, 1 game shot going to New Orleans every year. What are you building in Catahoula Parish?
You know, we're just trying to work hard and just trying to make a brand. You know, everybody knows, you know, that Faraday is for the athletes, so we just make sure that we put our best foot forward every day. You know, it's a process, and we make sure we teach the kids about, you know, everything. You know, it's just not about football. So we're just trying to build a whole kid, you know, educational, you know, spiritual, and football, you know. So it's a tough task, but we're there for it, and just trying to push the kids and matriculate them through school and so they can go out in society and be successful.
We hear so much about Faraday's offense, but defensively, you guys have gotten it done. And I was kind of skimming through all the highlights earlier of you guys. I see a lot of defensive touchdowns. Coach, what are you guys doing defensively?
You know, we believe in alignment, assignment, execution. You know, I don't believe in bringing a lot of pressure. You know, I believe in, you know, just keys and reads. And if you do that and play fast, you know, it'll take care of itself. And the guys are understanding what we're looking for. You know, it's year 3 in the program, so, you know, expectations are high. And the kids are working hard to meet that. And hopefully we can come out tonight and have a good game.
Coach, I appreciate it, man. Best of luck to you guys this evening. Well, Coach Scott Wilcher at 6 o'clock right here in KTV. But Chelsea and Jared, back to you in the studio.
Well, it's a terrible day to play some football. It's really wet out there.
What are you talking about? These are the games I lived for.
No, it's a little
get
too
out
wet.
there,
it's
get
messy.
muddy, nasty. Yeah, those are the fun ones. Cold and gross. Those are the perfect football games.
All right, well, not for me, but you heard it.
Yeah, for fun, for fans, not so much. But Tropical Storm Olga making for plenty of rain tonight. If we'll look at the forecast coming up next.
Downtown West Monroe.
Ahead for us, we'll show you the uncomfortable scene that developed when Harvey Weinstein dropped into a Manhattan bar, and we'll introduce you to the world's first drone airline, how UPS is taking medical-related deliveries to new heights later on Nightly News.
There's a reason people come here. It begins with a handshake and becomes so much more. We're more than a dealership. We focus on giving you a great experience, not just behind the wheel, but in all that we do, from service to sales to relationships. At Jim Taylor, we don't just say we care, we show it to you, your family, and our community. So come experience what we're all about. Find new roads at Jim Taylor Chevrolet.
I chose Nilo Dental because the doctors there made me feel so comfortable. The staff makes you feel like you're at home, you're a family, they're friendly. They have the most up-to-date appointment system ever. They text you, call you, and those texts really helped me remember my dental appointment. Their customer service skills are just incredible. At Nilo Dental, you're treated like family.
How do I use better than bouillon? I just add a spoonful to my marinades. To stir fries? Sauces? Just whisk it in. Brush it on? Sauté. It adds a cooked all day taste. That doesn't take all day. Better than bouillon. Don't just make it better.
It's dinner time in America, and the breadwinner arrives home from a long day at work. Now the family can sit down at the table, where everyone knows to be mindful of their manners.
Dinner time has changed. Our quality hasn't. Reynolds Wrap, foil made in the USA since 1947.
Find your freedom with the all-new NBC 10 mobile sports app, featuring faster highlights and scores to keep you in the game. And it's free. The NBC 10 mobile sports app for Apple and Android. Brought to you by Ross Downs, attorney at law.
Shop and experience historic downtown West Monroe.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young.
Well, good Friday, everybody. I'm joined with this week's Kids Cast winner. What is your name?
Lanaya.
Lanaya, and how old are you?
9.
9. And what school do you go to?
Bowley.
Bowley. And so tell me a little bit about what you drew to here on your picture. Looks like got some rain.
Well, I drew some like gray clouds, because when it's raining, it's not white clouds, just like a grayish color. And then I just had the rain just pouring down and just colored the house, and then I just colored the trees.
All right. Is that your favorite type of weather, or what is your favorite type of weather?
I like the cold.
The cold. So you're kind of enjoying the chilly air that we got right now. Awesome. Do you like snow too, or anything like that, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Snow.
Yeah. Well, let's hope we get some snow this year. And again, here's another picture, or look at her picture here. Again, showing some rain clouds here. But would you like to give anybody any special shout-outs or anything, or?
Bowley.
Bowley. Callaway Elementary. All right, that's an awesome shout out right there. All right, well, if you'd like to have your kid be featured here on KidsCast, you can head on over to myarclimus.com, print out this picture here, and give it to your child. They'll draw the picture, and once Jared's back in, he'll be presenting this, and that's that. So this is an awesome picture, by the way, that you got here.
Thank you.
So have a nice day.
Now, your local weather with Chief Meteorologist Jared Floyd.
Good job, Briggsy, and good job, Clenai, as they take a look at the live storm tracker Doppler radar brought to you by E-Orb Young. Perfect picture for the perfect rainy day across the region. It is soggy. The good news is no lightning strikes have been observed through the entire afternoon. As of last check, that was still holding true. So if you're heading out to a high school game tonight, again, lightning not expected to be an issue. The embedded thunderstorm activity not expected to be an issue, but it will be rainy. So again, plan accordingly. Most of the heavier thunderstorm activity has been well off to our east today. In fact, we've had numerous tornado warnings and confirmed tornadoes across the northern Gulf coastline in around southern Alabama, the Mobile Bay area, and even parts farther inland. And again, with any tropical system, although this has just been a brief tropical system, along the coastline with the friction and the higher winds and the wind shear that is created by a tropical system that's strengthening at the surface, you can have those brief spin-up tornadoes. So you can see the tornado warnings that are in effect with a tornado watch that goes all the way into southern Mississippi. And there is Tropical Storm Olga, a tropical depression at one point this afternoon was Tropical Depression 17, I believe, this morning, and then named a Tropical Depression Olga Tropical Storm Olga this afternoon. It will merge with our cold front pretty quickly as we go through the next few hours, and we're talking about probably before 10 o'clock tonight. It will merge with our front. That's when it no longer is a tropical system. It's a post-tropical cyclone. Will be a part of that frontal system as it continues to advance off to the north and east later on tonight and through the day on Saturday. Regardless, the rain is likely to continue through the wee hours of tomorrow morning. That area of low pressure, which would be Olga's low, will accelerate quickly off to the northeast once it merges with our frontal system. So by early tomorrow morning, it will be essentially right over the top of us, or maybe even a little bit farther off to the east. And that brings an end to most of the widespread rain. We'll still see some wraparound sporadic showers, and then the cloud cover holds true through much of the day on Saturday. Westerly winds come in late in the day, and that starts to dry our air out, and the remnant frontal system and really all the remnants of Olga will be well off to the east at that point. Rain totals so far today, over 2 inches of rain in El Dorado, about 1.5 inches in Monroe, and just shy of 1.25 inches in Vicksburg, 1 inch and nearly 3/4 in Greenville. Temperatures not warming up much. And that's kind of the ironic part of all of this, the fact that we're in the upper 50s to low 60s with a tropical storm making landfall and or becoming extra tropical just off the Louisiana coastline. So it is kind of amusing to look at temperatures right now and think of a tropical system, because you'd usually think 70s, 80s, 90s dealing with some of those kinds of systems in the middle of the summer. Mid-50s for lows tonight. Rain continues. Winds will be all over the place as that area of low pressure moves around and through our area. Mid-60s for highs tomorrow. More showers, mainly early, most of that before sunrise. And beyond that, skies will clear slowly but surely as we head through the rest of the day on Saturday. In fact, expect to deal with mainly cloud cover through Saturday, and then mostly sunny skies for Sunday. Mid-70s for highs by Monday, but another big cold front expected by maybe Tuesday or Wednesday will bring some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, but then afternoon highs fall back into the low into the 60s. Some spots could even see the upper 50s for highs at some point by the end of next week. And we could be approaching the freezing mark in some spots by next Thursday morning. Not for everybody, but for some spots, that could be a possibility. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Honestly, I'll take the rain, the cold over heat any day.
Very, very fall-like. Enjoy it.
Loving it. Thanks, Jared. Still ahead in health, we tackled the tough topic of teen suicide. We'll share the heartbreaking numbers out by the CDC and let you hear from a survivor who says the thankfully failed attempt shapes how she is raising her son.
Ahead for us, we'll show you the uncomfortable scene that developed when Harvey Weinstein dropped into a Manhattan bar, and we'll introduce you to the world's first drone airline, how UPS is taking medical-related deliveries to new heights later on Nightly.
Sports, sponsored by Ken's Coffee Service.
Afraid you owe too much on your car? Afraid of past credit problems? Afraid you'll need a big down payment?
No,
not be afraid. It's Interstate's monster of a sale. A Ram 1500 Crew Cab, $12,000 off. A heavy-duty Crew 4x4, $8,000 off. A 1500 Quad Cab, $22,990. Charger, $22,990. A Cherokee, $18,990. A Cherokee, $17,990. A Renegade, $16,990. Get monster savings now at Interstate Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in West Monroe.
Thanks to Governor Edwards expanding Medicaid, I didn't have to choose between getting cancer treatment or going bankrupt. Now I'm working full-time again and can afford private insurance. But his opponent's plan would take health care coverage away from hundreds of thousands of working people who need help just like I did. You may not have to vote like your life depends on it, but know that someone's does.
First six-function multi-pro tailgate, available on the next generation 2019 GMC Sierra. Step up to GMC and get over $10,000 total value on this next generation Sierra.
See your Monroe area GMC dealer.
When John Bell Edwards let thousands of criminals out of jail early, he put every life in danger. 25% have already committed more crimes. Crimes against children, violent assaults, 5 murders.
Jordan's killer was released after only serving 18 months, or 21% of his sentence.
I'll never forget the sound of that zipper opening up for us to be able to see Jordan inside.
Give his victims a voice. Vote no on John Bell Edwards. Paid and authorized by Make Louisiana Great Again.
NBC 10 News at 6 continues.
Heartbreaking numbers coming from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. A recent study shows the suicide rate for kids ages 10 to 14 have nearly tripled in the last decade.
This CDC report has parents asking why this number is so high and why it's rising and what we can do to stop it. Haley Brooks shares what suicide prevention groups are saying.
Baby Luke is the center of attention in the Dramus household.
And he's just amazing.
But 7 years ago, Annie Dramus didn't think her life would turn out this way.
I was in a position where I believed that I didn't have any other option but to end my life by suicide.
In 2012, Annie survived her suicide attempt.
Yes, I was in a dark place. Yes, I did attempt suicide. But yes, I am happy. And yes, I'm thriving.
Annie says the life-changing experience helped shape how she's raising Luke.
Even the perceptions that we get on social media, that's not reality. I want our home to be a reality of truth, of authenticity, and I really just want him to feel that every day.
Annie became a board member for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. That's where she met Tyler West.
I think that social media is kind of a double-edged sword because it can be harmful, but it can also be really helpful.
Both were surprised by a recent study from the CDC that shows the suicide rate for kids 10 to 14 nearly tripled in the last 10 years.
I think we all were shocked.
My heart breaks. It does. It simply breaks because the numbers don't lie, unfortunately.
West says now that the research is out, they can start working on a solution.
The most important thing that you can do is simply talk about it.
Haley Brooks reporting. As you just heard, Annie says the most important thing you can do is talk about it. Ask if they're okay and be prepared for the answer no. If you or you know someone who is struggling with the thoughts of suicide, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-8255. The Lifeline is available 24/7, 365.
To slightly lighter news now, it's a question that every parent has asked themselves. When is it okay to leave your child home alone? A new study is shedding light on what age experts say is okay. Researchers asked nearly 500 social workers what age would be considered neglect if a child was left home alone for at least 4 hours. The majority felt it would be neglect if the child was 10 years old or younger, but only 11% felt that way if the child was 12. However, that is only as long as there were no injuries and there were no state laws on the topic. Experts say that every child is different, and they advise parents to talk with their pediatricians. My niece, a little bit older than my son, she could stay at home. Him, we're like, not so much.
Got to know your kid, basically.
Just depends on who your kid is. So, and just ask them and maybe test drive like 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Test drive, I like that.
Yeah. Go outside and then come back in or something like that.
That works, that works.
Final look at the 7-day forecast after the...
News sponsored by Marie's Medical.
Advantage Health Plan, we're always on the go. That's why we get our news from the Fox 14 NBC 10 mobile news app. Download the app today to get faster news updates and breaking news alerts. Best of all, it's free. Brought to you by Advantage Health Plan.
My car wreck was the other guy's fault. I hurt my neck and my back. I called More Smart. He got me $475,000.
If you get hurt in a car wreck in Monroe, do what your family and friends have done for many years. Call me now.
Everything in life changes. Well, almost everything, because Price for Life from Suddenlink never changes. Get Altice One plus Internet for just $59.99 a month for life. You heard that right. The same price for life. Call 855-421-4585 now, and you'll get over 200 channels, a voice-activated remote, 4K Ultra HD, and 100 meg internet with unlimited data available, all included. Plus, right now, you'll get a $100 Amazon.com gift card. All this for just $59.99 a month for life. Switch careers? Same price. Start a family? Same price. No matter how life changes, $59.99 will always be $59.99. All with no annual contracts. Already stuck in a contract? We'll give you up to $500 when you switch. Get Altice One for $59.99 a month for life. Call 855-421-4585 or visit suddenlink.com today. Altice One, only at Suddenlink.
Lawyers in the Senate killed legislation. Lawyers in the Senate killed legislation.
Excuse me? But Jay Morris serves in the House, not the Senate. The House passed the bill, and Jay Morris voted for it. The Senate defeated the bill. Jim Bannon's a senator. Just facts. Jim Bannon has been in politics for 33 years, a career politician. Jay Morris employs 150 of our citizens in his businesses. A solid businessman. That's the real choice. Jay Morris, Senate.
I was hurt in a car wreck. I broke my ankle. I knew what to do. I called Morris Bart. He got me $175,000.
If you get hurt in a car wreck in Monroe, do what your family and friends have done for many years. Call me now.
7-day forecast shows mid-60s for highs as we head through the day tomorrow. Lingering showers will continue through the early part of the day, but those skies should clear pretty quickly as we go into late tomorrow night into early Sunday. Plenty of sunshine through Monday. Big cold front expected again by the middle part of next week.
Cold is here to stay.
Yep, hopefully so. At least for a little while.
All right, well, I'll take it.
Yep, I think everyone will.
All right, well, we'll see you back here at 6. That is it for NBC 10 News at 5. And make sure you tune into our sister station, Fox 14, on our channel, Fox Next. See you back here at 6.